Well, so, yeah, I see that our friends at Fox Bet saying the Clippers would be the neutral site favorite over the Lakers in a 7-game series. And I get that because they are trying to get, the right number of bets on each side of the ledger. And you've had a lot of very influential media members peddling this nonsense all year, most notably Chris Broussard, about the big, bad LA Clippers. And so it has distorted the public's view of this. And so here's the thing, Broussard. The Clippers have 3 massive issues, any one of which could preclude them from beating the Lakers in a 7-game series. But all 3 of them put together, absolutely, if the Clippers are fortunate enough to go deep enough in the playoffs to meet the Lakers, would prevent them. Here's the issue number 1. It's Lou Williams. And I really like Lou Williams. But Lou Williams is their crunch time clutch scorer. He is their go-to option late and close. And what we know about LeBron James teams in the postseason, if you have an incapable defender on the court because of what he does offensively, he is going to be pick and rolled to death as they did to Steph Curry, as they have done year after year for any LeBron team, to a player such as Lou Williams. So you either are going to have to take your best late and close option off the court or deal with the fact that he is going to be roasted on the other end of the court. That's only the first option, the first problem. The second problem is when the Lakers go small, the Clippers have no answer. When Anthony Davis is at the 5, the Clippers are a small team to begin with, but then all of a sudden, your biggest man is going to be Montrezl Harrell, and the Lakers will have 2 guys bigger than, and the 2 best players, by the way, bigger than the Clippers' 5 in that situation. And the last one is this: playoff minutes, which is, I get it. Kawhi Leonard's been on this special program all year. Take 1 and 4 games off, and we'll try to keep you to 32 minutes a night like high school. But in the playoffs, you need to be ready to play 42 minutes a night because we know LeBron is. And all year long, you know how many times in a regulation game Kawhi Leonard played more than 40 minutes? Same as me, same as you, same as Jenna Wildes. 0. And we saw when the Lakers played the Clippers right before the world shut down, Broussard, late in the game, a lot of hands on knees, tugging at your jersey from Kawhi because it's like, oh, I actually got to play 38 minutes tonight. My schedule hasn't built me for that. So 1, 2, 3 reasons. I see no reason why the Clippers should be anywhere close to favorites over the Lakers, Broussard.
Nick, there's a part of me, believe it or not, that hopes you're right. Because I would like to see LeBron win another championship. And it'd be nice if you got a prediction right in the NBA era every once in a while. So I hope you're right. But unlike you, I make my predictions with my head, not my heart. And the Clippers are simply a better team. Look, you're right. That's the way the Lakers beat them in their last regular season meeting. They hunted Lou Williams. That's okay. The Clippers are the deepest team in the NBA. So they can finish the game with Kawhi, with Paul George, with Montrezl Harrell, with Marcus Morris, with Patrick Beverley, or Morris is out if they want. They can go Landry Shamet. They have all types of options they can use to get Lou Will off the floor if they have to. And don't act like they wouldn't have a closer. Kawhi Leonard can close games. Paul George, I know his record hasn't been great in closing games, but I trust him to hit some big shots at the end of games. The Clippers will be fine. Look, they've got the 4th best record in the league, and they haven't even been healthy. As much as we talk about LeBron benefiting from this rest theoretically, how about the Clippers? Kawhi missed 13 games. Paul George missed 22 games. Beverly missed 16. Shamet missed 17, and they still were a great team. They had no chemistry. They were dropping guys in and out of the lineup and still playing great basketball and fitting together well. So now that they'll all be healthy, they'll all be rested, they'll all be playing regularly every night, you haven't even seen the best of the Clippers, and you're about to in the playoffs.
Well, that last point you just made is your best argument, which is the Clippers are actually going to be a different team than we saw through 65 games. It's the best argument, which is, listen, don't believe everything we've seen. Believe the potential. Believe what they will be, what they could be. Because what we've seen is they're a tier 2 team. There are 2 tier 1 teams, Milwaukee and the Lakers. They proved it all year long, home road against everybody else. And then there's a bunch of tier 2 teams with Toronto, with the Clippers, with Denver. They're right there. The Clippers have been elevated to a place by everyone but me, seemingly, the moment they signed Kawhi and traded for Paul George, that they have not yet earned. But I have a question for you. You mentioned chemistry. Why all of a sudden, after a quarantine, months off, a team that added Marcus Morris, that added Reggie Jackson, who's always been great for chemistry, let me give Reggie credit, why is that team going to all of a sudden have chemistry when they haven't played together and they're not going to get the full 16 games at the end of the regular season they thought they were going to get to figure out rotations and to figure out chemistry?
Because they had chemistry as it was. That's my point. They had chemistry without even playing together. They dropped Kawhi in the lineup 3 out of every 4 games, and he'd fit fine. They bring Paul George back, and he'd fit fine. They were 7-2 with Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson. Best record in the NBA, best point differential in the NBA when those 2 guys are there. And you're saying we don't know what they're going to look like. No, I know what Kawhi looks like. When Kawhi was in Toronto, he led them to a championship. When Kawhi was in San Antonio, his last playoff appearance there, they had the mighty Warriors down 22 points in the 3rd quarter before he gets injured. Kawhi Leonard delivers. I've seen Paul George in the playoffs. He's taken LeBron James to 7 games in the playoffs while he was the only star on the team facing a big 3 in Miami. And the Clippers are hungrier. They've got more dog. They got more nastiness. Patrick Beverly, Montrezl Harrell. They are dogs. They want it, Nick. They want this.
Oh, my God. There we go.
It's a hunger issue. It's a hunger issue.
Yeah.
Let me bring Wildes into this. Wildes, Lakers, Clippers, Clippers, Lakers, Einhorn, Finkel. Where do you fall on all of this?
Well, I'm fascinated by the neutral site aspect of this because it kind of falls into 2 camps, whether the neutral site will really matter or it won't matter at all. And I think conventional wisdom is more what Frank Vogel said after the who won the game? Oh, the Lakers obviously beat the Clippers in March. Frank Vogel came out and said, we're at Staples Center. All Staples Center's games feel like home games. Obviously, our fans, Lakers fans, turn out no matter where we are, but particularly in the road game. So I think the common knowledge was, hey, if there's a 7-game series, Lakers-Clippers, the Lakers are constantly going to have the home court advantage. Here's a great video of the court being turned over. Now, the other side of this, Nick, is that this doesn't matter at all. This is from a Sloan paper that it's not crowd noise, doesn't have any effect on the players. It's not sleeping in your own bed, no effect. And it's not the physical court that we just saw being changed over. This is from a 2011 Sloan paper, Tobias Moskowitz. There's no conspiracy here. They're human. Talking about the refs. Psychology and social pressure is very powerful. They see the things the way the crowd does. So once we're in the neutral court and no one's talking about it, the way that the refs call the game might have the biggest impact on everything. Although, Nick, I do like the idea that Patrick Beverly is hungrier for a championship because I am just a huge Patrick Beverly fan, and I'm going to support him in anything he does.
Well, yeah, listen, the hunger aspect, the esoteric, the metaphysical is what the Clippers have to rely on at this point because we can't actually look at the evidence of the season, so I get it. I do think the neutral site part of it does help the Clippers a touch because the Lakers had earned home court advantage because they had tried this regular season, because they hadn't rested their star who's in year 17 the way their Clippers did their star who's I think in year 9. They had actually, paid attention to the integrity of the season, and now that advantage is taken away. Luckily, thankfully, for those of us that picked or bet on the Lakers, they are demonstrably better than the Clippers. So 7 neutral site games, 7 sites on Rucker Park here in Harlem, or 7 games on Drake's court in Toronto, it doesn't matter. The better team's going to win. And the only thing I'm disappointed in, Broussard, is we're not actually going to see it because the Clippers aren't going to win the opening 2 rounds to actually let us see the Battle of LA take place in Orlando.
Nick, your only argument for the Lakers is this. LeBron's the best player in the world. But guess what? He's been the best player in the world in each finals he's been in, and he's lost 6 of them. That's not enough. It's going to be the best team, and the Clippers are the best team.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.